welcome back to another episode of New Dad Order. Episode 6, Ray and I get into a few things. We talk a little bit about politics and introducing that into our kids. Ray has teenagers, so a little bit different as far as the perspective goes of the responsibilities of talking about politics on social media. Where my political views kind of were established and the way I started to see things at such a young age as well. We also talk about Disney World. Ray is potentially planning a trip to Disney World. I myself have been way more times than what I realized until Ray and I started talking about it. Also, too, we talk about magic. Ray is still impressed by magic. It freaked him out. I'm not really sure why, but he couldn't figure out how a trick was done. But then we figured it out together. It was a great moment. We also talk about Ray's Friday nights of Dungeons and Dragons, and it was a big night for the boys whenever they get together and just go on a quest or whatever it was. I'm not really sure, but we appreciate you guys for tuning in and giving us views on this as Ray and I continue to do this and try to be better dads. But make sure you hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. We do appreciate the views, and make sure you hit the like button. Drop us a comment if there's something that you would like to hear us talk about, and hit the notifications as well. But nonetheless, episode 6. Now, let's go.
Welcome to the New Dad Order podcast. My name is Ray, and sitting over there is my boy Parfait.
Welcome, everybody. Ray, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, man. It's getting warm.
It is. I think
it's springtime, and school is coming to an end.
Yeah, like 8 weeks left, I think, is the countdown according to my. Probably less than that. I don't even know. It's getting close. Way too close.
So, wife and I have been talking about going to Disney. We haven't been to Disney in, let's see, I want to say over 10 years. It's been over 10 years.
Lucky you.
I want to go really bad because I want to make a lightsaber.
I knew it was coming. I
also want to make an astromech.
What is that? Time out. You want to make a what?
An R2-D2.
What is an R2-D2?
It's a robot. It's a robot. The folks out there know what I'm talking about.
R2-D2.
This is
Star Trek stuff?
Star Wars stuff. God bless America. I'll tell you what. You need to get that fixed, brother. So we're thinking about going on vacation.
Fun fact, real quick.
Go for it.
Never seen Star Wars in my life.
It's my favorite movie, man.
Never seen it. Never seen Spaceballs. Quote every line.
You have seen Spaceballs?
Seen Spaceballs.
So you've seen Spaceballs, but you haven't seen Star Wars to get the references.
Don't need to. Mel Brooks is
just
a genius.
So funny. Yeah.
Yep. So you're going to make a little robot and a sword. Okay. So Disney.
It's a lightsaber.
Lightsaber.
It's not a sword.
Nope.
So that's the thought process right now.
So you're trying to angle a trip to Disney to live your childhood out.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Hey, I can't fault that. That's not a bad plan. Really.
You know, and now that we have our nieces, we're probably going to take them with us. The thing is, she normally has a beach trip with the girls. Her and our two girls, and maybe a friend or friends of the girls.
So it's like a mother-daughter getaway thing they do?
Every year they've done it. So she's going to bypass that in order to go to Disney. So looking forward to it. Do you guys do anything like that?
I'm so over Disney World. I'm not going back.
I'm not saying Disney, but just vacation.
No, we definitely do vacations, but
But why are you over Disney? It's so clean. It is expensive.
Well, it's vacation. It's vacation. If you're going to complain about what you spend on vacation, then don't go on vacation. I'm in that camp.
Are you?
Oh, stop complaining. Like, don't go on vacation. Man, it's so expensive. Then don't go. You pay your mouse tax whenever you have a kid, and we've paid our mouse tax way more than we anticipated.
How many times have you gone?
Let's see. So
you had to think about it.
I did, but we're not Disney people. Right. So we went in 2018.
Okay.
And the dude was only 2 years old. So we really weren't going. In fact, we went.
We went
before that with
2 years old.
But we weren't bringing him necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we went even before that, whenever he was like a year old. But that trip was totally impromptu. Father-in-law was speaking at a convention. We had free rooms, free passes, something like that. Whatever it was. So we ended up at Disney World. impromptu trip. Hopped in the car with her parents, went to Disney World. Then we planned a trip to go actually run because that's one of those hobbies that people don't like to talk about unless they do it. We were going to the Food and Wine Festival, which is at Epcot, which is really cool. And they had a 10K and a half marathon. So we went and I ran the 10K and the half marathon. Carolyn ran just the half marathon. Luke ran the little kids race. And
at Disney.
At Disney. So that was that reason for going.
World or land?
Disney World.
Okay.
Never been on the West Coast.
Yeah. No.
And then we went again during COVID. We went during COVID. The kids had off for a long weekend, and Disney was basically giving you the cheapest rates they'd ever given to go to the park.
Well, there's so many people scared to go out.
And
go
so
out
we
about,
just
awesome.
went because why not?
Yeah.
It was during COVID.
Yeah.
So that trip, and then we went again for the last time, and that was actually a really planned trip to bring the little dude. That was part of his birthday present, and we went back again, and that was it. So like 4 times.
How old is he on the last time?
I don't know, 7.
7.
7.
I think.
Yeah.
I
7.
think that'll sit on him.
So I'm done. I'm done with. I don't need to go back. If Disney World happens for the Parfait family, it's a mother-son trip, and whoever wants to go. And I'm flying west. I'm going to Vegas. That's what's going to happen there.
That's your Disneyland. That's your Disney World.
Appreciate you guys tuning in for an episode of the New Dad Order podcast. Ray and I out here trying to figure out ways to be a better dad. If you got a better way to help us be a better dad, drop a comment below, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll be back next time trying to do the best we can. So,
out there in Vegas. You talked about 2 years old. I know I'm jumping around here a little bit. You talked about 2 years old, 1 year old. Birthdays, man. It's like birthdays. Like 1, 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. By 3 years old, but 1 or 2 when the kids are 1. The birthdays are for the parents, aren't they?
100%.
Right. It's like going to Disney with your kid. It's like, this is for me, really.
100. Well, whenever you go and your kids are that old, you're obviously going to Disney World for yourself to go make a sword and a robot, lightsaber and a robot.
Well, I think it's the same thing as a kid being, 1 or 2, and they're 16 or older.
Pretty much.
It's for me.
And
it's for them to hold. Hey, hold my bag. Go get me that water.
Well, full circle. When we bring a 1-year-old, we want to go because we've been trapped in a house since the wife was pregnant, and then finally the kid was born, and we had no social life, and now they're old enough to stay awake for more than a few hours. So let's go do something fun for ourselves. And then you have that 15 years of only dealing with their little punk self.
Yeah.
And now you have a beautiful 16-year-old daughter that you can bring to Disney World, and she can kind of go do her own thing, and now you get to have fun. So possibly whenever he turns 16, maybe we'll go back.
Yeah, but she's not going to do her own thing now.
They're not going to let her walk.
No.
It's the safest place in the world.
No,
they don't even have mosquitoes.
I mean,
in Florida, that's so weird.
It is weird. But we like to hit the parks, but as a family, we'll go hit the rides. Like, if my oldest goes, I'll throw him in a backpack, and he'll go make sure the fast. I don't know how it works anymore, because I know if you had the fast pass and you went and you set yourself up.
And there's so many scams now. You have to pay for. It doesn't matter. They rip you off. You're going to Disney World. Stop complaining about how much it costs. Don't go.
Yeah. Well, we complain.
No, you're complaining about it before you even go?
No.
Okay. You can't. You pay for the meal pass. That way you can eat crappy food all day long. And
yeah, we're going to get a meal pass. We're going to get a house.
Oh,
we're going to get a house off. Like in Orlando.
Like Airbnb?
Yeah, like an Airbnb.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. So, and the last time we went, it was like a huge game. We didn't use a nice indoor pool. Not indoor, but a nice pool that made it look like indoor because they had all these different.
Oh, well, Florida covers all their pools.
It covers everything.
The screens. I'm not sure if that's
really weird.
Mosquitoes or alligators that they're trying to keep out.
You know what? That's what it is. It's the alligators. Mm-hmm. It's got to be the alligators. Too many times I've seen too many videos, people with alligators in their pool. They're like, why don't you have it covered? And that's the first thing they ask. Why don't you have it covered?
That's great. Did you see the video that went viral recently? And it was in the Florida Everglades, and they had an alligator and a crocodile that started to fight.
Was it on a golf course?
No, it was on a bike path. They had bikes locked up on a rack, and an alligator and a crocodile in Florida started to fight. Eventually, they just stopped messing with each other, and they went away. And that's what someone said in the comments, which I totally agreed with. Is it weird that I was pulling for the alligator? I don't know. Instinctively, I was just pulling for the alligator.
Wow, I can't tell the difference.
You can definitely tell the difference.
You can tell the difference?
Yeah, you can.
Crocodiles
Crocodiles have longer snouts, nose, whatever you call it, mouth. Alligators are stubbier.
a little stubbier. Oh.
Crocodiles are longer just in general.
I
Ever seen Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Crocodiles.
No idea.
You couldn't tell the difference then?
No. Crocodile, alligator.
Not Star Wars.
No, it's not.
They don't have alligators in Star Wars, do they?
At all.
No.
Not at
What's
all.
the big scary beast in Star Wars?
The Sarlacc?
The what?
Yeah, it's a monster. It sits in a big pit, and it digests you for like 900 years, slowly. That's what happened to Boba Fett, allegedly.
Boba who?
Yeah. Let me stop. You've never seen it, man.
I've never seen it.
Never seen it.
But I do. Bill Burr was in The Mandalorian. That came on Disney.
He did really well.
I'm a Bill Burr fan.
Have you seen The Mandalorian, though? No?
I watched the first episode.
It was a little bit of him, like his personality.
I have no idea.
No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. It was a little bit of his personality, but he did a very well job of acting like a space guy, like a space bounty hunter. Yeah.
Space guy.
Like a space
Big
guy.
space guy. Yeah.
That's my favorite movie. What's your favorite movie? And it's not Spaceballs.
Definitely not Spaceballs. Definitely not Star Wars. Not a sci-fi guy. I mean, Goodfellas. I like Goodfellas. The soundtrack's awesome. Story's awesome. Henry Hill's a slime ball. The mob. All that stuff.
Is that the one where...
Wait up. What? What is that the one?
Is that the one where he goes...
Henry Hill.
Am I a comedian? I make you laugh?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
A great movie.
Martin Scorsese. Yes.
Yes.
It's a good movie. It's a great movie. It's one of the best movies.
Well, what's the one with they had a lot of great actors and everybody gets killed at the end. Like they're killing each other and Mark Wahlberg walks away.
Well, then it's probably not a good movie.
It was good.
Mark Wahlberg.
Matt Damon was
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon was the state trooper.
We're talking about The Departed?
The Departed.
Okay. Based off of Whitey Bulger,
Yeah.
Irish
Good movie.
mobster.
That was a good movie.
They caught him down here in Louisiana when they finally busted him. Whenever he was on the loose forever.
For it?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Whitey Bulger.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good movie based in nonfiction. Not so much like Star Wars.
I don't know. I just
I like mob movies. I do like comedies as well. Tommy Boy, probably top 3-4 movie of mine.
Tommy Boy.
Love Tommy Boy. Who doesn't love Chris Farley?
I mean, I think Waterboy was better than that, though.
No.
No? You don't think so? Maybe it's because of the football in me.
The football.
Maybe it's because of that.
Not the water, right?
No. It's the Waterboy and the way they were talking, like trying to be Cajun.
No, because you're a soda guy. That was where I was
Trying to be, you tried. Yeah, you tried. They're trying to be Cajun and all that with their fake accents.
Yeah. Waterboy, I can leave it. I could take it.
I think
Step Brothers definitely. Yeah, that's a goated movie for me.
That's
I can't not watch it if it's on. Probably more than Tommy Boy, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
Step Brothers. My wife likes it too, which threw me for a loop, but I'm pumped because anytime it's on.
If Anchorman comes on, I'll sit there and watch it.
Really?
No matter where it's at. Especially, I like the Anchorman Wars. Was that in the first one or was it the second one?
I think that's the second one.
Was it the second one?
But we could be totally wrong. Doesn't matter. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. That one's pretty good.
So Anchorman, I could go with it. It's not up there for me as far as movie. Like I said, Step Brothers, 100%. Favorite Will Ferrell movie, definitely Step Brothers. And
You didn't like that one where he's a race car driver?
Ricky Bobby, not
Ricky Bobby,
Talladega Nights. Not a bad movie. I can watch it, but we're talking about movies
The
that
Step Brothers is better. Nah. Let me step back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll step back on that one. Yeah, Step Brothers is better.
For sure, for sure.
But there's so many quotes. My gosh, there's so many quotes.
Well, we also used to, before the internet, right? Or before everybody had things to share memes, that's what school was. We walked around yelling our memes. We quoted Chappelle Show.
Oh,
right?
Chappelle.
If Chappelle Show came out now, that would be nothing but memes. It'd be screen capped with a meme. People still do it, but that's all it would have been. Instead, we got to watch it and then watch it again and again and again and then just repeat every line to it.
Yeah.
I'm Rick James. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll never go away.
You know what's sad is what happened to him. But he still
Rick
won't
James?
talk about it. No.
I'm joking.
Chappelle.
Yeah.
He won't.
He talked about it. He talked about it in depth.
I don't think that was
Him getting robbed. He did a whole special.
robbed.
Well, by the industry. He did a whole long monologue that he released.
Yeah, I saw it.
YouTube or Instagram or something like that.
It was on Netflix. It was on Netflix. I think you're right. I mean, you're right. But I think it's something that he just had to put out there to appease the masses.
Possibly.
I think something else happened.
I think he was also doing it for the big picture, for everybody else that kind of came along after, letting them know they're being taken advantage of.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if you watch Shannon Sharp's podcast. I forget what it's called.
No, I don't.
He had Cat Williams on there, and it blew up the internet.
So I did see that.
You saw that?
Oh, I mean, I saw it through clips of what I needed to see.
Yeah, because of what, and he basically said that he alluded to. You think that's what it was?
I don't know. Cat
He
Williams.
alluded to it.
He's pretty unhinged whenever he starts talking.
But that's the thing too, is that he even said that the people I've been portrayed as that guy that's a little out there.
Because he is.
See, I don't know. I don't know.
You think that there's that much method to his madness? Or people are calling him crazy to convince?
The guy is smart. Now look, I don't know if he really read that many books as a kid. I don't know if you ever saw that clip. He said he read a lot of books as a kid, a lot of books. And that he left home when he was like 13 years old and lived in a tent across the street from his life is a little is out there. Okay? It's a little out there. But all the stuff he was talking about all these different comedians and just the entertainment business.
I mean, I would believe that aspect of it. I think it's a shady business. Like a lot of other businesses are. It's the easiest one to take advantage of because everybody wants to be famous and it's being seen at the right time, right place.
Here's an unpopular opinion. The whole Diddy thing is just an act. Just to keep his name and Jay-Z's name and Beyonce's name and everybody else associated with him out there. So people keep talking about these people.
That's a horrible angle to keep famous with.
It is.
Do you think P. Diddy signed off on this to stay famous?
It's just an unpopular opinion.
Who else has this opinion?
No, nobody but me.
Okay, all right. Just making sure because
it's
I haven't seen this one scroll across my algorithm
no,
with all
you
the
haven't.
other jokes.
You haven't, and you're looking at me going, "Are you serious?" Yeah, because it's unpopular. That is not a popular opinion.
I think it's an original opinion. I wouldn't even call it unpopular.
I think one plus God have heard this opinion. It's me and God.
Yes.
Now you.
Now me.
And y'all.
I'm sorry, guys. But we're going to... P. Diddy did this for the fame.
I don't think it was him. I think there was some other people.
Half the people left the country and haven't come back.
Have they? Who?
Well, J-Lo's been like in Australia since all this went down.
No. She's been bouncing around, got divorced. How do you get the...
Didn't Leonardo DiCaprio leave and not come back because of all the P. Diddy stuff too?
Mm-mm. No, he's still around. They're all here.
I don't think they are.
I just haven't... You may be right. You may have something there. You know what? You may have something there.
I don't think they need P. Diddy having baby oil to stay famous.
I think...
It's not even an opinion. I think it's kind of a fact.
Oh, man. Oh my gosh. I don't even know why I went down that road.
So when are y'all thinking about going to Disney World?
I think sometime in July.
Cool. It'll only be 120 degrees and
Yeah, I think
all the humidity. It doesn't really
should be
matter.
right.
It's Disney World, South Florida.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot no matter what.
Exactly. It's just tough.
I'm not a big fan of the school calendar in general. I think they should go to school for 3 months and then have off like a month. And then, or a few weeks, and then go to school and kind of go year round without the extended summer break. And it would give people who don't work a teacher schedule a chance to plan vacation that doesn't have to be when the kids are off only during the hottest part of the year. That makes sense. Or give up a holiday.
It does. I would like to look at the history of that, why that happens.
To work
Why
on
do
the
they
farms
decide?
during the summer?
Is that what?
I don't know.
That might, well, I mean, because now I'd like to see why they decided to make this. Because it is always fascinating. Because every time I came back and I saw Bobby, I'm like, golly, Bobby, he grew. They always grow. And I don't know if it's the summer or
You're
just
talking about
because
your
we're-
friends?
Oh yeah,
That was when
Or
you would
just-
greet your friends whenever you
Yeah.
got back to school?
Yeah, we
Just
came back to school like
sounded like an old man
"Golly,
who
Bobby,
grew
you grew. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's what we did back in them days.
You're not that old, Ray.
Going up, walking. Yeah, I'm not that old.
You're not that old.
But I did walk 2 miles of school every day.
Did you?
They don't do that nowadays.
No. I wouldn't
There are
trust.
so many buses. It is amazing how many buses there are out there. I don't remember. I'm like, are we going to get a bus? Like I remember
You didn't have
barely
buses?
seeing buses. No, all the kids walk to school.
And nowadays, all these kids just spoiled with them big old yellow buses.
Big old yellow buses.
Getting them to school.
I don't think they even know about the short buses and why they had short buses. I don't think they know about that.
You know what? I wonder if that joke falls on deaf ears nowadays. I wonder what the age gap is
it
to where
probably
the
does.
short bus joke falls flat. It's got to.
See, you're
Very
43.
prevalent
You
in
know,
ours.
you know it. I think maybe 30.
You think if someone's
think-
30 years old, they may not get the short bus
I
joke?
don't think they'll get it.
But it's in such
I mean,
normal language. It's in
it
jokes.
might be like in social media jokes and stuff of that nature, but to really understand why about the short bus, or
Yeah. I'm not sure.
you know what? Let's say 20s, because my son is 30. I'll ask him.
if he knows what the short bus means.
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
He
Be
went to
curious to know
Thibodeau-
where that. It has to
Thibodeau
fall
High.
off at some point.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with quoting movies. Kids don't quote movies like we quoted movies.
no.
Not whenever I was 10, 11, 12 through high school. Does your daughter and her friends quote movies?
They do.
Do
They do.
Like
look,
current movies or old movies? Because I'd venture to say they probably quote more TikToks
you mean
than
like
they do.
you mean like currently?
Yeah, do they quote movies that
no.
we grew up with? Because we used
No.
to quote Animal House, and we didn't grow up with Animal House.
No. I see, and this is unfair for me to say, but I'm going to say it. But the quoting that I can remember, and they do it now, it's the let us know kind of that I don't know if you
I don't
probably
even
didn't-
know what we're talking about.
You probably didn't watch the movie because you got a boy. So it's those princess movies, those Disney princess movies.
Okay.
And one of them was that this princess that, and one of the songs was a pretty famous song, and it's like "Let Us Know" or "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" I'm pretty sure
We're
you've
talking
heard
about
of it.
Frozen?
Frozen. Yeah.
Let it go, not let it snow.
Well, they say "Let It Snow."
Okay.
Yeah, they change it up a little bit and say "Let It Snow."
Just wondering.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Yeah. Or I'm just trying to make it sound like I made that happen.
You have been known to make up titles for things that you don't know.
I do.
We haven't done that many episodes, and
No.
Ray has made up quite a. Forgot who Nick Saban was.
Bro, you know the wonders of technology.
Yeah, no, we're not. No,
I get to cut that.
No,
Yeah.
that will live forever because I will bring it up every chance I get. That you did not remember the coach of
I
Alabama.
can't believe I couldn't remember.
I was flustered because of the fact that I thought you were talking about somebody else, not the most famous coach ever to coach college football.
It's so sick.
It's okay, not CTE. Though. You're good.
No, but I won't forget again. I'll never forget that one again.
You wouldn't remember if you did.
But no, I don't think My no, I'll remember that I didn't remember. But no, I don't think my kids really quote movies. They quote shows like, ooh, it's really like TikTok stuff, and it's more
Exactly.
It's more doing the and dancing and
You a
stuff.
big TikTok guy?
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't even have TikTok.
Why not? China ban?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
no, I feel like I shouldn't listen to mainstream media, but I was like, man, if the Chinese got the algorithm, they're gonna find me, and I'm gonna be the one they get. I'm gonna be the one. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. But no, I
don't really
just
mess with
haven't got a TikTok.
I don't mess with it too much, to be honest with you.
Because my wife gets stuck on it sometimes, but it's the same thing as watching like YouTube Reels.
It is. I find that
Facebook
TikTok
Reels.
videos are longer than I have the attention span for. They take too
I thought
long.
they were quicker.
Now, there's some of them that are really long. At least whenever I'm on there, the ones that they're just too long. You got to get to the punchline faster for me.
Oh, I thought they were okay.
Some of them are. There's no real time cap. I don't think. I don't know.
No,
But usually on Instagram, anyways.
we're probably going to have to open up a new dad order TikTok.
Then you do some dances. You and your
No, no,
daughter.
no, no, no.
Yeah, that would be great. Ray doing
Not-
TikTok dances.
Not doing that.
You and Jackson
I can
Mahomes?
dance though.
I believe you.
I can dance. I can cut a rug.
See, when you say it like that, the doubt creeps in.
I can dance a jig. I can get it.
You see, that's
I can get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
All these words, you're dancing
Just-
a jig and
Just
cutting
a
a
little,
rug.
just a little bit. Just the wave right there. Just bring it back.
You used to pop lock back in the day.
Yeah, but that was horrible. Like I would do the
Tell
same
me,
move.
do you have pictures of whenever
No,
you were no?
unfortunately. Like,
You
we
were like
had
Run DMC
sixth
the whole
grade.
nine, like
Oh,
Adidas tracksuit.
No, I wanted one so bad. Mom wouldn't get it for me.
Man, I'm gonna
it's
buy
too
you
expensive.
one. I'm gonna buy you an Adidas
I wanted.
tracksuit.
I got them later, but they were, it wasn't fashionable anymore.
Oh, but it's cool now. You can pull it off now.
Oh, yeah, you can pull it off
way
now.
cooler than tactical pants.
But I remember, I remember in sixth grade we had like a in class talent show,
Right?
and I was like, I'll dance. And I went up there, and that song, I'm like, why is this song going for? I did the same moves, It was 7 different moves
For 3.5 minutes.
for 3 minutes. It was the longest 3 minutes in the world, and the kid was like, oh.
And then you did it again, and then again, and then again.
And then I heard, why is he doing it again? Like in the back. I'm like, oh.
But you were
not
like
good.
break dancing or pop locking? Or all of it together?
All together.
All together.
The seven different moves.
Gotcha.
Right? It was the wave. It was, the body wave.
Now
It
get up
was
and show us.
The worm. No. It was the worm, the backspin, and I tried the windmill.
Didn't work out?
No. Yeah.
If we
And then
only had
and then you
iPhones
pop,
back
then.
then.
You pop, yeah, And that's what I always say to kids. I'm like, I came up with a good time.
Yeah, we got to
we
do
got
dumb
away with
stuff.
all kinds of stuff.
No, I'm firmly behind the belief that if you graduated high school around 2000, you got to live your best life in college.
Yeah.
Because once the iPhone came out, it was game changer, and everything you did that was dumb lives forever.
Oh yeah.
So I think that I'll stand behind that one forever.
I'll
If you
stand behind
graduated
it,
high
too.
school in the 2000-ish area, you got to live college life the best, and high school life for that matter.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I just what I don't get nowadays is where these kids are always texting stuff, like negative stuff. Like why? If you've got something mean or nasty to say, don't text it.
No,
It will be there forever.
no, that's where picking up the phone and calling somebody is probably the better move.
That's what you got to do. But then these kids don't know how to talk to each other.
You're right. You're right. Lack of communication skills. I don't think that's going to come back though. But I think it exists.
Books came back, so
Books came
it's got to
back,
be.
yeah.
It got to be.
Books
It's got.
built to Barnes and Noble. I heard.
Yeah, out there in Jubin.
Yep.
That's a part of outskirts of Baton Rouge. I don't think I clarified that last time. Jubin is an area that's blowing up outside of Baton Rouge. It's in the Livingston Parish area. Yeah, so I didn't clarify that about about Jubin the last time we were talking about that Barnes and Noble that's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making big strides.
But I think you're right. I think you're right. You know, just being able to communicate and talk to somebody. It's almost, it's like cursive, right? Sort of going away also.
Yeah, well, cursive isn't necessary. I think communicating with one another is probably something that needs to be done on a regular basis that kids are lacking the ability to do because of texting.
Well, true. And I'm saying
I'm
they need to
guilty
do
of
this in
it too,
school,
though.
but they need to do that in school. Not just have public speaking as a credit in college, but they need to have it in high school. And you got to take it. You got to take public speaking.
Public speaking is different than okay, so public speaking, people had a fear of that before. They've had a fear of that before smartphones. People just don't like getting in front of a crowd. Possibly some type of class where debate, conversation, that may be more beneficial, of having to articulate, having to defend a point with removing all the emotion and argue with facts. That might be more beneficial to kids opposed to public speaking.
No, that's good. So I had civics. You ever have civics in high school?
We did have civics.
I had a little bit of that. We got a little bit of what you're talking about, just a little bit. But that's an even better class. I mean, what would you call it?
I don't know. It can be incorporated in English. Why not? Why not have a section of the 9 weeks and have debate type things where
I think it should be.
You wrote an
civics.
opinion piece, or it would be a form of public speaking in front of a small group, but you wrote an opinion piece of something that you felt strongly about, backed up with facts, and then you defended in front of the class. Even no debate. Just being able to articulate what your, whatever it may be. Soccer players are more athletic than basketball players. Get up there and defend it.
Yeah.
And not
I think they
be
have that
questioned or
debate.
anything.
They have that in debate.
They do have that in debate.
You get the opposing side of this topic. Let's go look up what you got to look up. And we used to have not just dictionaries. What were they? Not thesauruses. What were they called? Encyclopedias. There we go. We used to have encyclopedias that we'd have to go look up information in, right? And then we'd come back and go, okay, boom, and we break down some of those. Well,
that's
facts.
a report.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
But I'm saying,
But I like
if
that,
you
though.
need to communicate better, something that is more of an opinion that you have and find facts to back up that opinion, opposed to giving me something someone else already wrote.
Right.
Combine your facts, present your case. This is what it is. Or have a teacher assign it. Hey, you've got to figure out a way to defend this point, like in a debate. I don't know. I think that would be better served for kids to open up lines of communication if they did that not just 9 weeks of their sophomore year, but if it was incorporated more throughout the curriculum to engage them to speak to peers, to teachers in a small group setting. It could breed more leadership. Just knowing how to communicate your point and removing some of the emotion tied to it by just giving the person the reason why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, no, that would. I think that would help all these woke kids.
Woke's fun though, man.
No, woke's not fun. It's more emotional.
It's
than
fun to
factual.
observe. I can watch people be woke because their opinion is going to have to change because the woke meter moves and you can't be on the wrong side of woke. So that part of it is amusing. Do you follow what I'm saying?
No.
Meaning that if you are going to commit yourself to woke culture, you have to be willing to change your woke opinion because what is said one way may be said a different way and unpopular. So you have to go. You can't have a strong opinion. You have to just have the opinion that is
I got you.
that is presented as the woke opinion.
Yeah, I'm tracking now.
Right?
Yeah.
So they amuse me. They amuse me because they don't provoke any emotion.
They don't provoke any emotion?
From me, personally. Like a woke person is not going to get a huge emotional response out of me.
Not even a smile, laughter.
Well, yeah, I meant a defensive emotion. How about that?
Okay.
How about that?
Like a negative emotion.
Yeah, they're not going to get that out of me.
I got you.
I can't argue with someone that is so far on the other side. All I can do is just keep asking them questions to figure out how their brain works to get that opinion, and I'm fascinated with that in itself. I can have that conversation where they leave thinking that I may be just as woke as them because of all the questions that I'm asking. I just want to understand it. I want to understand it because I'm so far on the other side of it that I don't know how you got there. Let me know how you got there. That way I can understand this, where if I actually am ever in some type of debate, argument, you're giving me all the ammo I need to dismantle the person that I'm having this conversation with, because I've already thought about it and they have the exact same thought as you. I'm like, oh, well, this is going to be an easy argument to win.
Yeah, no, that's good. Just trying to figure out
Which is why I always, when I used to watch the news a lot more, I used to have pretty big fascination with politics. I don't anymore. I watched predominantly the politics that did not agree with my politics, because I didn't need. So when I would watch something, I would watch the news shows that were predominantly the other side of my opinion, just to get an understanding of what exactly are they arguing against mine. I don't need to hear someone affirm my opinion. That doesn't make my opinion any stronger.
Right.
Whenever someone just says, I agree with you. My opinion gets stronger whenever someone breaks down what I'm saying, points out faults in my thoughts, allows me to generate new thoughts.
Let me ask this based off of what you just said.
Okay.
Let's just say, because I don't know which way you lean, conservative, left, I don't know. So Fox is more conservative, and like
MSNBC
is the other side. So are you saying, if let's say you were conservative, you'd be watching MSNBC?
Yes.
Just to figure. That makes sense.
And the fact that my political beliefs are moderate.
Yeah.
I am not tied to one side or the other at all.
Because you're right. Because I used to watch certain individuals on the same party, and I'm like, all right, I get it. What else can you tell me? I get it. Okay, thank you. So you're right. And I would listen to it, and then I'm like, how did you get there? How did you get there?
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
How did you get there?
Yes. Let me know how you got to that opinion, because when someone has this exact same opinion that you have, if they answer the same way, if I inquire of how they got to that same opinion, then I realize that, they only consume what they want to hear from the same places. It's whenever you talk to someone and the only thing they listen to is Joe Rogan podcast, and so they just regurgitate whatever they've heard on a Rogan podcast. Like, okay, so this isn't an original thought. This is just the thought that you picked up and you grasped to. But did you take it a step further? The person that he was speaking with, did you inquire anything else about what they were saying? Did you listen to another interview they did? Did you listen to someone that did an interview that has an opposing view of Rogan? Where did you get all this from?
Yeah.
If someone truly interests you, or what they're saying is interesting to you, then why not try to consume that person's opinion from multiple different interviewers?
Yeah. No,
right?
That's good. Yeah, I totally agree. So when did you start getting into or going through that as looking at the opposite side in politics? When did you start doing, when you were younger? How old were you?
In high school.
In high school?
In high school.
So what led you to that? Just your own thought process?
Civics class.
Civics class.
Civics class.
Okay.
Civics class, because the teacher that we had in civics class, we did a mock election. And at the time, it was Bill Clinton running against Bob Dole. That was the mock election that we had going on at the time when I was in civics class. And our teacher wanted us to cast our votes for who we thought would be the president. Well, Bill Clinton, everybody knows, extremely charismatic, huge personality, commanded the room, somebody that you saw on TV like, he looks cool. Played the saxophone, all that stuff.
Right.
Right? And then Bob Dole was the person he was running against. And the only thing I knew about Bob Dole was Norm Macdonald did the best impression on Saturday Night Live of Bob Dole, holding the pen in his hand. Bob Dole this, Bob Dole that. That was my knowledge of those two, of the way they were presented to me on TV. Mm-hmm. We did the little mock election in class. Bill Clinton, hands down, won the election in our class. Our teacher was so flustered. I went to a Catholic school. Bill Clinton, obviously a Democrat. Bob Dole, obviously a Republican. That didn't really resonate with me at the time of Republican and Democrat.
Right.
We were just, what we were consuming on the news and on television is where we came up with our opinion of what we were going to vote for in class. She was so flustered that we voted overwhelmingly for Bill Clinton. She was upset. She was upset that these teenagers were voting for Bill Clinton and not her Bob Dole guy that she thought should be the president. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why is she so upset about this? Like, who cares? We're in civics class. Like, what does it matter? But she was so invested in the fact that we didn't see the things that she thought we should see. And from that moment on, mm-hmm. I was like, I wanted to understand, why was she so far Bob Dole and not Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton seemed so much cooler at the time.
Yeah.
And that's where it started at.
I think that's what's supposed to happen, especially out of civics class.
Yeah.
Especially out of civics class. My civics teacher was Mrs. Ruth. She was old when I had her, and she was there, I want to say, 10 years after I left. 10 years after I left. She was a fantastic civics teacher. So before that, nothing, right? Didn't care about any of that stuff. I had situations with my kids where they would, because of social media now, where they started putting stuff on the internet that we didn't agree with.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All
and
right.
we're like, let's have a conversation. Why did you do that? Well, because that was a popular opinion.
Within their circles?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, let me explain to you why we don't agree with that. And we broke it down to them, you know? And politics is a slippery slope, right? It's a slippery slope. And I don't like talking about it, but we had to break it down to some of our kids about politics, and this is what you have to do in order to develop your own thought processes about the different things that are going on. Don't just take what you're seeing here and thinking that that's it. There's always another viewpoint.
Yes.
Right? Make sure you get the other viewpoint. Understand both sides, or maybe three sides, whatever it may be. Understand. Get as much information as possible.
Don't pick a side. That's the biggest thing.
Just because your friends say. All right. And I don't like saying, well, if your friends say go jump off the bridge. I'm not doing that, but at the same time I get it, because I used to be like that, like, be a leader, don't be a follower. Right? But sometimes you'll have a friend that's a little more charismatic than the rest, that you like to emulate a little bit. I like the way they wear their jeans, or I like the way, and sometimes they speak eloquently, and you're like, oh, okay. And you feel, some way about that person, and you respect what's coming out of them. So it's not like, you're a leader, you're an alpha, but sometimes, you're going to be a follower just because. It works out that way.
No one is, there's one supreme alpha, right?
Exactly.
And so
it's our Lord Jesus Christ.
Outside of that, then there's always going to be someone that has more pull than the next person.
Yeah.
So if you're the guy who leads your group of friends, there's another guy that leads his group of friends. Mm-hmm. And those guys, who knows who's going to be the one that leads if they ever met. So with kids, I could see that being really tricky, of it being easy to just fall into. Honestly, they're just falling into whatever parent probably puts the most BS in front of their kid no matter what. And that's from both sides of your political opinion.
Yeah.
Because the parent exactly who is constantly feeding political information to their teenager, I don't know what value.
Or preteen.
Or any age for that matter. Just feeding them constant information to their child about something that they view a particular issue without giving what you did of the reason,
Yeah.
just giving them this is what you should believe, not this is the reason why we believe this. That does nothing for the kid whenever the parent does that.
Yeah.
That does nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't create any type of thought-provoking research, conversations.
No.
It just gives them a talking point whenever someone else brings up something, because they're just going to repeat what their mom or dad said to them because that's what they've heard.
And that's something you can't fix, right? And that's what we're trying. Well, that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm pretty sure that's what you're trying to do. Is try, in order to set them up for success, they've got to be able to go and look at things
Right.
in different ways. They got to be able to go look at things, and yeah, that's also one of those things. Like you said, there's parents out there who just that they live by politics. They live through politics. I don't know why, but it's one of those things. It's just like I'll look into it when I need to look into it. For me, I'll look into it because I'm not. I mean, there's so much stuff. There's people that live this stuff, and they'll jump on the Facebook and
Well,
like, come on.
We've already all experienced the fact that those feeds on social media are geared towards what you consume the most. And if the thing that you consume the most is hating woke culture, then you will get a bunch of woke culture stuff in your feed because it's what you engage with the most whenever you hate it. If you love this political person or that political person, that's all you engage with, then you're just going to get stuff about that person. So when those people go on Facebook and preach their politics, honestly, I find it amusing because they're giving me so much more about what they actually look at on the internet. My algorithm is no politics at all. Plain and simple.
Mine is a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Which
Right?
is getting you primed for Disney, cuz.
Yeah. And then I also one of my hobbies that I don't really talk about a lot is toy collecting.
Really?
Yeah.
You got all the girls in college, huh?
None.
Okay.
No, in college,
Well, you did play football at
yeah.
Pitt.
In
so
college is a different story.
post-college.
Pre-college,
What about
Yeah.
after college?
after college, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, it wasn't
so,
bad.
All right. So
Wasn't
you're
bad.
all right. You self-proclaimed geek. I would never call someone of your size and strength a geek without
Yeah.
him first saying it. Mm-hmm. Wife, nerd.
No.
Okay. So that's the balance,
She
right?
quietly laughs at me. She laughs.
Well,
but
then
she
we should
supports
hang
it.
out. She supports it.
She supports it.
It's she supports your Star Wars and toy collecting.
Oh yeah, she supports it. But she's like,
I've got to talk
because
to her.
there's times where I'll open a bin. and
I
I'll
don't
look
know
in.
his wife, folks. Ray and I've been friends for 20 years. Don't really know his wife,
No.
but we will talk about toys whenever we do get together.
She'll look at you and she'll smile, and so she might say, "Bless his heart."
You know that
You know
that's
what that
not,
means, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You know, that's
So-
like short bus territory.
exactly,
Exactly.
right. But she, that's how much she loves me. That's how much she loves me to
She does.
run with it.
She does.
It's just something that, I mean, look, I grew up middle class, but I think lower middle class. Well, we thought we were rich because every time we opened the fridge, we had food,
There you go.
right? Every time, I mean, it was bologna, it was hot dogs, and we fried that bologna. I mean, we thought we were kings and queens. Me and my sister, we thought it was, but we didn't have the other stuff. I didn't have Jordans. I had Kmart specials. You ever hear that song, Bobos? They cost $1.99. Bobos. They make your feet feel fine. No? There you go. That was probably from 1975, 76.
Hoping that one gets inserted in here so I can relive it.
So
Or live it for the first time. Okay, so toy collecting happened for obvious reasons. Of,
because I couldn't have.
Okay.
Right? I
That's
couldn't
fair.
have. So
That's
now
fair.
that I can have, I go and get, So she understands. She
So
understands.
what's the hot toy on the market right now, Ray?
It's there's
Okay, time out. What toy are you looking for when you go toy shopping?
I don't. It's I'll go to the toy aisle. When you see me in a toy aisle, I'm looking for toys.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm looking for toys. Yeah. No, it's just figures. It's just different. The Marvel Legends,
I thought my
Black
hobbies
series.
were that. Okay, we
Black
can.
No, your hobbies are beneficial.
Yeah,
Your hobbies
no, beneficial to me, but it brings
are
me
healthy.
But it brings me enjoyment.
Yeah, it does.
Yours brings you enjoyment.
Yep.
It works out.
But it does nothing. All
Poker
it does
doesn't
is-
bring. Poker's not health. Played poker this past weekend.
But it's a social event. It's a great social event, right? So you get to interact with
time.
people.
Yeah.
You get to interact with the
You go to
folks.
Comic-Con ever?
No,
No. Man.
it's one of those. It's one of
a
those.
bucket
Not
list?
dreams. That's not really a bucket list, but I've thought about going to one, especially the San Diego Comic Con.
That's where all the cool ones are, right?
No, that's Super Geek Fest.
Is that the actual name of it?
San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, I thought you said Super Geek Fest. I did go Comic Con. I have heard, honestly, I've heard it because it's been in movies. I think it was in Entourage. They talked about it. I liked Entourage. They went to
Entourage.
Comic Con. He was Aquaman. Whenever
Yes.
Vinny Chase was Aquaman, they went to Comic Con.
Yes.
So, very, very not in depth writing, but popcorn TV. You can get-
But that's
fine.
just like my favorite movies. It just you're just engaged in the enjoyment of
Yes.
that is just fiction. It's fun. It lasers. And so with those guys, it's like there's no way there's a bunch of guys that act like this, right? Or how come? Where's the money? Does it really come from Vinny? All the money? You know what I mean? Like it's just it's just watching guys do what they want to do because it was just.
It's very easy to
And
have.
they were good actors. They were good actors for what they were doing.
Except for Vinny. He was like the worst one.
Vinny's he was the lead, right?
I mean,
Because
kind of. By the nature of the show, it was based around his acting career, but Eric E. was the main character of Entourage. E. and Jeremy Piven. Ari.
Ari was the
Yeah,
best.
I mean, those were the two
Come
main
on.
characters. Oh, no, I'm not saying he's not. No, I enjoyed it, but that's that
I
whole
thought
thing
his-
where the show
I
was.
thought his brother was great.
Yes.
His stepbrother was
Yeah,
great.
he was awesome.
Because it was like, oh,
Yeah, Johnny.
Johnny was the
Yeah, Johnny Drama. Johnny Drama was one of the best characters in there. Turtle, all of them were. Like I said, Vinny was the least talented probably out of that whole
Yeah, I think
group.
so.
The guy
Yeah.
that played Vinny.
because everything came to him.
Well, it was just that was the way it was written. I mean, the story was about the entourage, not about the actor.
Right.
Hence the name. Mm-hmm. So
It's a great show.
great show. No, mindless television is always good. There's not enough of it out there that'll actually keep my attention now. I can't watch a comedy that has a laugh track. I can't. You know what I mean? Where they tell you when to laugh.
Oh yeah.
I can't watch those.
Yeah. What's a comedy with a laugh track that comes off
Everything that comes on like CBS, NBC,
like Friends?
Friends, Big Bang Theory, shows like that.
Yeah.
The Office, no laugh track.
Really?
No laugh track on The Office.
So it was live. Like they had a live audience or something?
Not live. It just
There's no laughter. You just laughed while
you
'cause
laughed
watched
because it was
'cause
funny, not because every other line was a fake punch line.
Yeah.
Someone walked in Seinfeld laugh track, right? Believe so. All those shows. All those shows were laugh tracks where they have that subtle laughter in the background.
You ever watch The Wire?
That was one that actually I feel like less of a man because I never got into it.
Really?
I never did. I watched a few episodes of the first
Season one is
season,
like-
and that's what everybody says, and I
Season
never
one.
powered through it.
Season 1's
I can
the best.
geek out with you though. Game of Thrones fan.
Love
Never
Game of
missed a
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Love Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never missed an episode of The Sopranos either, but
Sopranos is good too.
it's good. It's the best show ever made on
I don't
TV.
want. But see, that's your genre.
No,
though.
that is proven fact by everybody in the world.
No, but I'm just saying that's your genre
Yes,
as well.
it is.
Yeah.
No, it's-
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
The Sopranos by far. But I also watched, I think every episode of Sex in the City,
All right, you got me there.
only because it was the lead
Did not
into.
watch one of those.
It was the lead into The Sopranos.
What?
It was. So it used to come on right before The Sopranos.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it had a connection.
No,
Okay.
yeah, it was just really good.
I got you.
Storyline just meshed.
All right, you threw me off. there
Sarah
for a second.
Jessica Parker was she was like the Tony Soprano of Sex in the City. So, not really. But I watched every episode. In fact, we played trivia. This was years upon years ago, playing trivia with couples trivia, guys versus girls. And my buddy Hunter and I absolutely owned the girls. They were so flustered because he and I, we We watched The Sopranos almost every Sunday evening together at his house with his parents, it seemed like. So we watched Sex and the City before The Sopranos came on just because we didn't have DVR, right?
Right.
So it wasn't an option. You got to catch it whenever it was there, or HBO replayed it on Tuesdays. We weren't missing the Sunday.
Wow.
We knew the schedule. So we watched Sex and the City. Well, trivia night, we do it. Sex and the City category comes up, and Hunter and I just absolutely destroy them. They're flustered. They're mad. They don't understand how we know every answer to every Sex and the City question, but we did. Wow. We won. We didn't even need Sopranos questions to win that night. But that was a good one. So, but yeah, you got to watch mindless television at times.
Do they do that anymore now, or is it just the TikToks and the reels and the?
I mean, you're asking me like.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does your boy have favorite shows?
He watches
My
Disney.
kids
No,
don't.
he watches Disney stuff.
They might
That's
watch.
about it. I mean, he watches
movie.
YouTube. Dude Perfect. I mean, they do episodes. It's episodic, so to speak.
Is it
It's not a storyline, but
like 10 to 15 minutes or something? Like, and they always hit. My goodness,
What do you
that's
mean?
got to be cuts. They got to be cutting.
well, yeah.
They've got to be, because you can't hit like that all the time. You know what? And I used to be that guy. How are they doing that?
I thought everything on the internet was real. Gosh.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I know you've been down there in New Orleans, Jackson Square, and they got the magicians out there.
Right.
Right? I saw a magician
Okay.
take a dollar bill, sign it, take it, and stuff it into a orange. Did he stuff into an orange? Well, I forget how. Whatever happened, they did stuff it some way somehow. He cut the orange up, he rolled it up, cut the orange up, and he peeled it out of the orange.
Okay.
I had to leave.
You just gave me an example of a magic trick that you didn't watch the end of the magic trick.
No, that was a magic trick. That was the end of the magic trick.
Why did you have to leave?
Because I don't understand how he did it. There was he didn't insert it into the orange. I don't know how he got into the orange. I have no idea how he got into the orange.
Right.
But he cut it open. I don't know if it was sleight of hand or what, but it looked like he
I think
peeled
you
it
figured it out.
But he peeled it out.
You just figured it out.
It might have been sleight of hand,
It
but it
was
was
100%
really good.
sleight of hand.
It was that convincing to me. You ever see
Okay, you know
ever
what?
see the guy?
Ray's naivety right there. Just it. I think I can come up with a dad rule right there.
Well, easy.
No, it was
All right.
sweet. It
Go
was
for it.
sweet. He was so naive. Dads,
I am.
let your kids believe in magic as long as they want.
And Santa.
Let them believe in magic as long as they want. Even if they're 53 and just realize that the guy didn't pull out the dollar bill from the orange, but yet had it in his hand the whole time, it works out. So let kids believe in magic. There we go.
Yes.
Dad rule right there.
Let them
Good
believe in magic.
Gosh.
I like it.
You really didn't
At that time,
never thought that time. How long ago was this, Ray?
I think I was in my 30s. Sad.
Still getting burnt by magic
You
in the French
understand?
Quarter.
It looked like he peeled it out of the orange.
No, I believe it.
And his sleeves were all the way up. He did a fantastic job.
It's almost like he was practicing for a while.
probably so.
Probably.
Yeah. Let's not say probably. Yeah, he was. But have you ever seen that mentalist guy that comes into the locker rooms and he pulls names?
I'm fascinated by it. I'm not saying I'm not.
Do you know who I'm
amused
talking
by
about?
it. There's so many of them out there. I don't even want to guess.
There's one
Who?
I forget his name.
But I agree. I think that I like magic. It's cool. We were on family vacations earlier. We went to Lake Tahoe a few years ago, and where we were staying at, they had the casinos, and we went to a magic show. Brought the little dude to a magic show. They called him up on stage, and he got to perform a magic trick. They had a cell phone. They put it in a bag. They crushed the bag, and then the cell phone wasn't there or was there, whatever it was, and he's on stage, and you'd swear the orange was in his hand because he didn't know what happened, and then he comes back, and we have it all on video, and it was really cool. And we're like, what happened, dude? How'd you do that? I have no idea. so that was great. Yeah. I didn't really know how it was done. I didn't care. I enjoyed it. I was suspending, whatever the phrase is.
Some mindless time, just enjoying some entertainment.
Yes. Yeah. So that was great. Magic is cool.
I love that.
Magic. Did you play Magic the Gathering?
No.
All right, just making sure. Just checking the nerd meter. That's it.
Yeah, I will hit you with something.
We'll venture back and forth between finding out how far we.
It wasn't Magic though. I played AD&D.
I don't even know what that is.
Yep. It's the role playing game. Yeah.
This is not me laughing at it. I am not being a bully. We spent a whole episode talking about bullying. I'm not bullying Ray. I'm sorry. I was warned by my wife to not bully Ray.
No.
And so you do.
You can't bully me. You can't bully me, even though it is funny.
I don't even want to make fun of you. I have so many questions. I have so many questions about how did.
So you would roll a character up, right, and then you would portray that character amongst all your friends. And we would go on
friends.
Yeah, we would go like Game of Thrones through a mystical land,
like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, but advanced.
Oh my gosh, that's what the A stood for. Advanced.
Advanced
Dungeons and Dragons. This is like honors class.
We'd go out there and we'd slay monsters.
How old?
We'd slay. I was in high school. It started when I was 11-ish.
This is what happens when you don't have the internet.
Well, yeah. 11-ish. And then, like, you can create this character and you can get, what? And you can act like, and yeah. So I was a great actor. And, me and my boys,
the greatest character you ever?
Friday nights, we'd go.
Yeah, just get crazy. Just some pizzas and Pepsi and go at it.
Not even pizzas and Pepsi. Like, we wouldn't even eat. We just went at it.
You can't go fight dragons on a full stomach.
Oh, no. I mean, we ate before we went over, but the thing is, and mom would bring out a cheese tray. That's the first time I discovered cheese trays over my boy's house.
I would have figured more of y'all would have been lactose intolerant.
Oh man, there's so many cool people that play.
I didn't say there wasn't. You're cool. I like you.
Yeah. But that was a long time ago. I haven't been able to. It's
not like poker, huh?
No.
Okay.
No. Poker is poker. You walk away from poker. Poker always finds you. When you start playing
walk
poker
away from AD&D.
Nah, it doesn't find
you. got to just go back to D&D before you can get right back to the advanced, or no? You think you can hold your own in an advanced group?
No, it's a very simple concept. As a matter, the guy. I don't know if you watch those Marvel movies.
They're on.
So the guy who plays Punisher.
Don't know who. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he was on. You ever see the show True Blood?
I know the show.
Okay,
but that's like vampires or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, vampires. It just like it was like crazy. So there was a girl on there.
I'm not sure what that had to do.
I know it was because it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh, they had to find a way to keep it amusing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There was a girl on there who was also a Daredevil.
Okay.
She was the reporter. I think she was a reporter. So she has a podcast, and she was interviewing him, and she plays D&D. As a matter of fact, she's a DM, which is a dungeon master.
Oh.
You ever see the cartoon back in the day? I don't know if you were probably,
I don't even know.
You were too young.
Dungeons
and Dragons on Saturday mornings?
No.
Well, she was the dungeon
Tom
master.
And Jerry guy here.
Yeah. Well, she was the dungeon master. She put him through a scenario, and he was like, "That's what it is." I'm like, "Yeah, you get a character, you play the character, and you just go through a fantasy setting and have fun with friends."
Sounds like a blast.
It is.
Well, Ray, another dad rule in the book: let your kids believe in magic as long as possible. Also, Dungeons and Dragons is cool. Go to Disney World, all right? Have fun in Disney World. We'll find out more about that whenever that trip actually takes place. But enjoyed having everybody join us. Make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to make sure that you know whenever a new episode drops, and leave a comment for us. Anything, if you have any advice on how to play Dungeons and Dragons, I'd be willing to listen to it. But until next time, thanks everybody for joining us. That's right, this is Parfait, and you've been listening to
New Dad Order.
Thank you for joining us from the New Dad Order podcast. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop us a comment below. Let us know what you would like to see here. Why not? It costs you $0 to hit the subscribe button. Appreciate you guys.